What makes a life worthy of remembrance? Is it the greatness of one's name, the number of one's achievements, or the legacy that continues to shape others long after one's time has passed? Today, as we gather in celebration, we do more than recall the name of Saint Bede. We honor a life formed by faith, sharpened by learning, and offered in service. A life that reminds us that wisdom is not meant to be hidden. It's meant to become a light that shines for the world. Saint Bede was born around the year 672 or 673 in Northumbria, in the north of England. At the age of 7, he was entrusted to the monastery of St. Peter at Monk Wearmouth, where he was raised, educated, and formed under the guidance of monks. His life began with the rhythm of Benedictine monastic formation: prayer, discipline, study, and service. Bede eventually moved to his community's second home, the monastery of St. Paul at nearby Jarrow, and there he would spend most of his life. His world was shaped by worship, community, study, and writing. He was ordained a deacon at around the age of 19 and a priest at 30. Within the monastery was a valuable library collected by his community's leaders, the abbots Benedict Biscop and Kjolfrith. Entrusted with its maintenance, Bede was able to use the library to study a variety of subjects: the natural sciences, history, scripture, and theology. To celebrate Saint Bede, then, is not simply to look back. It is to recognize what his life asks of us now, to seek wisdom with humility, to use learning with purpose, and to understand that education is most powerful when it becomes service. Saint Bede died on the evening of May 25, 735, during the first vespers of the Feast of the Lord's Ascension. According to the account written by his disciple Cuthbert, Bede continued working even in his final hours. His last task was a translation of the Gospel of St. John into Old English, which he dictated to a young scribe named Wilbert. Before his death, he gave away to his brother monks the few earthly possessions he had. His works continued to be read, copied, and preserved long after his death. St. Boniface, who used Bede's letters and homilies in his own missionary work, called him the Candle of the Church, a title that reflects the light his life and writings gave to generations of believers and learners. More recently, in 1899, Pope Leo XIII declared Bede a Doctor of the Church, recognizing his originality of thought by placing him in the same league as the scholars he cited. Centuries later, Saint Bede remains more than a figure in history. He remains a reminder of what life of faith and learning can become. As we celebrate Saint Bede, we honor what he has lived for: wisdom formed by faith, knowledge shared with humility, and service offered without the need for applause. Today, his light continues in every learner who seeks truth, in every community formed by faith, in every celebration that remembers more than a saint, but a life worth following. This is Saint Bede, our heavenly patron and our model as students and scholars.